bringing crafting to you. I've realised because of being so busy, I have not uploaded a video. So I'm going to show you what I've been up to. So this is a 6x6 card box. Inside you have got your 6x6 cards. I've got some notelet cards and then some little tiny cards and some that you can use as thank yous as well, or tags or whatever. So I'm going to show you how to make that. So I'm only going to make the box today, and then I will make the inside cards, etc. later videos. Okay. So yes, thank you. This is 6x6. Of course, I have done the 7x7s. I've done one that's in, these are the 7x7s. You will find this on my videos. I have altered the bottom where I've put a piece of paper going across rather than two separate bits, finish it off. So that's the Splendid Day paper, but that's 7x7s. So without further ado, you need a piece of card that measures 12, so you need 12 by 9 and 5/8. Then you're going to leave it on your 9 and 5/8. Let me just put that in there, and you're going to score at 1/2 inch. So score at 1/2 inch, and then you are going to pull it back, score the other side at 1/2 inch, and then you're going to score it at 1 9/16. So put it in at 1.5 inches. So if I'm going to bring it up, so if you put it in at 1.5, and then let's just steady that. So if you put it in at 1.5 and then just push it on to that little tiny mark after the 1.5, and that's your 9/16. So you're going to do it on this side and then rotate it round and put it in again at the 1.5, move it along one little mark, and that is the 9/16. So you'll have it scored like that. And then we're going to put it in on the 12-inch side, and you're going to score it at 1 1/16. So put it in at the 1, and then just move it that one little mark across, and that's 1 1/16. Then you're going to score it at 7 9/16. So put it in at 7.5. So put it in at 7.5 and just move it along that one mark, and that will be 7 9/16. Then you're going to move it to 8 5/8 and score that. So you'll have scored that, and then that I think is done. So it was 1 1/16, 7 9/16, and 8 5/16. Now put it back to where your, let's put it in at 7 9/16. Now what you're going to do is pick up your trimming blade, but you only want to cut down as to the second score line. So use your blade to keep it, and watch that you don't go beyond that. So I've just taken it down to that score line, so that's your second score line. So I've just used my cutting blade. Then you're going to lift up and take your blade to the bottom, and then you're going to make sure you got it on the 9/16. Then you're just going to cut up to that second score line, okay, and lift up. Then you're going to move it to your 8 5/8. So move it a lot back along to your 8 5/8, and then you're going to just, you can start at the bottom because you've left your blade there, and you're just going to make sure it's exact. Then you're just going to come up to your second, let me get that right. That's it. And I'm just going to cut that up to your second score line, no further. And then, oh, while it's still in your trimmer, just make sure you've still got it on that 9 and 8 5/8. You're going to start at the top, bring it down to that second score line. Okay, there we go. Now put it in at your 9 5/8 side, and you're going to put it in at your 1 and 9/16, and then you're just going to bring that down to only the first score line. So you're going to bring it down only to that first score line. Let me just bring it back. Only to that first score line, not the second, only the first. So that will just take you out that piece. Okay, so as you can see, I only came down as far as the first score line. There's the second score line, look, the first score line. I'm now going to do the same at the other side, but I'm just going to guess it because I'm going to put it in where that second score line is, and I'm going to just bring it down to that first score line. So I'm just putting that back in, and I'm going to just bring it down only as far as that first score line. Let's take it a fraction more. Don't cut too much. So there we go. So that will just take you that piece out again. So you'll have ended up with it looking like that. Okay. So there we go. Right. Now I'm going to bring in my scissors. And I'm just going to slightly wedge these two tabs now. So I'm just ever so slightly going to wedge them. There we go. These are selling like hotcakes, Hannah. I have got orders in for them. I have sold 2, and I've had another 4 that people want. So they're selling like hotcakes. These would be good for craft fairs to make. Don't forget to put your copyright on for your stamping stamp images of your stamping stuff that you use. Okay, now I always have to think about this. So let's see, up the side. I'm going to risk it and do it this way. Can never remember which way I do it, so I'm going to just cut up. So this is the second score line along. I'm just cutting up, and the second score line I'm cutting off, and I'm going to just cut straight. Well, actually, I'm going to only very slightly wedge. Okay, so that's very, very slightly. And I'm going to do the same. I'm only going to take a slither off to just give it that tiny bit of a wedge. So look, I'm just taking that tiny bit off, look. And I'm going to do the same at the other side. I'm not going to take much off at all, just that tiny bit. Okay, I'm going to repeat at the other side. So I'm cutting up the score line, and the score line at the other side. Then I'm going to slightly wedge, just very slightly. I just love our scissors, they are so nice and sharp. There we go. Okay, and then this here, I'm only going to slightly wedge it, just very slightly. Okay, not much at all. Okay, now we leave those we completely leave, because what we're going to do now is fold it only on that score line there and there, and then we're going to use our bone folder and secure that down, creasing. Now just go over the outer parts of your card so that this flattens it and makes it better and gets rid of all your burrs. So I'm just going to go through that, just make sure that we've got those nice and done. Okay, now we're just going to go and burnish all our score lines. So we'll just burnish all those score lines. There we go, and oops, so bring that one in there, and bring that in there, and do that there, and then we'll take the top, burnish that one, and then the next one in, we'll burnish that. Okay, so we'll bring it back here. Now we're just going to get a piece of card to just stick in there. Now I just find that I have straps left, so let me just fold that in. I'm just going to cut this at 1 inch. Let's have a look that side. So just turn that round, straight edge there. I'm going to cut that at 1 inch. So one inch, and then I'm going to put this, and I'm going to take it, so I've just taken it to the 6 3/8, but I'm just going to pull it back. Can you see? I'm just going to pull it back that fraction, so it's showing that much of my trimmer. That will just make sure that it doesn't absolutely go to the edge. Let me just pop that in. So what I'm now going to do is put some glue on these tabs, and then bend it over and just give it a nice crease again, and just smooth it down, and the same with the other side. So I'm going to do that. Now I'm using some old DSP that I've had quite a long time. As I say, I have got the just make sure that fits there nicely. Yeah, it does. Just make sure it goes in between those folds, so you want to be able to fold it without any resistance, so don't let it go on the folds, because that measurement between those two is 1 1/16. By doing this 1 inch in thickness, it just gives it that little bit of margin away from your folds. So there's no resistance, but that's just giving in strengthening there. Right, now we're going to actually put the DSP on before we make it up. So I have got a piece that measures just, remember how I showed you the 6, let's take it out again, and 3/8, and you're just pulling it back that fraction. Okay, so you're going to do that, and cut your piece of 12 by 12 DSP. Just cut that straight down, so because you need plenty of this width. So if you just do that, you'll get you'll get 4 pieces out. So you'll need to make sure that you've got 2 lots of DSP that's the same if you're going to do it like mine. Now this is, as I say, just under the 6 3/8 by 3 1/4, and you want 2 of these. So I'm going to just put these on. Okay, so let's put that on there. Just make sure I've got that. Yeah, I've got that following through. Because I've got a stripe pattern, I'm making sure mine is following through. I am actually using, I think it's Fleur. Beautiful colour. Oops, is it? Just come out with my glue bit. That's it. So I'm making sure I've got an equal increment going off there. Now this piece, you're going to put it in so that because you're cutting from that big piece, you will have put it in your trimmer and the piece will have run, let's show you, like that. So I cut the first piece, which was 3 1/4. Then this is the 9/16. So what you want to do is you want to put it in at either side of your trimmer and put it at the 1 inch, and then just pull it back. Oops, sorry. Pull it back that one little mark there, and that is your 9/16. So you just put it at the 1 and take it back that one little mark, and that's your 9/16. Now, as I say, because I've got a pattern going off, I'm making sure that the inside will, when you see it all going down, will be all striped the right way. So I'm just making sure that I've got that right there, look. So again, make sure you've got equal increments all the way. There we go. Make sure that's right. There we go. And then the last piece, I showed you to take it away, just that fraction from the 6 3/8. It is exactly the same. This is a square piece, exactly the same. So you're just going to take it that fraction away. Now I'm going to glue this down. Okay. So make sure you've got, if you've got directional paper, that you've got it the right way. And then put this, whoops. There you go. There we go. So now, because this lid's going to come over like this, we need that other piece that measures the 6 3/8 by, let's see if it'll work out. It might not work out. We're not going to worry about that too much because, let's have a look. Yeah, we're not going to worry about that one. That will be fine. Because this comes over, that will be fine. So I'm going to, so now I've got it going the same way. I'm going to glue this one over. Okay, so just make sure you've got equal increments. Okay. That's it. There we go. And then we've got another piece that just measures that 9/16 by the just under 6 3/8. So that goes on the top there. Okay, and that works out, look. So make sure you've got those equal increments. And then the back, we'll put it hand up and we'll see, yep, that works out for that. So we'll put it there like that. So it is quite time consuming cutting all your pieces, but when you get to assembly it's not too bad. So again, make sure we've got equal increments all the way round. Okay, there we go. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it on that way, is I've got some strong tape, but I don't rely on the strong tape. I just use the tape to secure it in position. Now, I think it's this tape that I've used. Over time, it can start coming away. So I always like to put my strong tape down, but then so you're putting it on that tab and your other tab. So that's the only place we're putting it for the moment. So there. And then turn it round and we're going to just burnish that down. And then take these up. Where's my pokey tool gone? Let me get my pokey tool. That's it. That's released it better. And then I put glue on the rest, and then that will just hold it in place for me. There we go. So I'm just going to make sure that I've got a nice edge there. So I'm making sure that that meets up nice there for a commit, and then just go over with my bone folder. Done that. Yep. And then do the same with the other side. So I'm going to release the tape. There you go. And then put some glue on that side. And again, tuck it in, bring it round. Make sure you've got a nice square edge. Okay. So just bend these the opposite way for the moment, just to get them out of your way. That's all we're doing. Now, the pocket that I've got, the large pocket, this measures 8.5 by 5 1/4. Then you're going to score it at 1/2 inch and 1 inch. Rotate it, so that's on your 8.5 side. Then you're going to rotate it and score only at 1/2 inch. So remember that, only at 1/2 inch. Then rotate it again and score it at 1/2 inch and 1 inch. Right, now what we're going to do is these two squares here, we are going to take those two squares off. So cut that square. So that's taking those two squares off, and these two squares here. So these will come off. Okay. Right, so we've done that. And then I've got a piece of DSP that measures for the large pocket. Remember that 6 3/8, just pulling it back that slight bit, and then 4 5/8. So that's going to fit on there. So I'm going to do that. There we go. And then put equal increments. If you've got a pattern that needs getting the right way, don't forget to put it on the right way. Okay, that's fine. Okay, make sure equal increments. There we go. Right, now I'm going to run the tape along the fold. So the tape will go along the fold there at the bottom, and just cut that off. And then this wants to run along the fold as well. So along the fold there, and along the bottom fold. That's that. And then do the same at the other side. So it's going to run along the fold. There we go. Along the fold there, and then along the fold at the bottom. Okay, there we go. So you can see that's the fold there, so I ran the tape. That's the fold there, so I ran the tape. The same at the bottom and the same at the other side. Now we can score these using our bone folder. So just work back on itself and the bottom one, and then the same with the two sides. Okay, now I'm going to release only the bottom of the box. I can get my pokey tool in there. That's it. That's it. And then again, I'm going to put the glue on the bottom. So the glue is going along the bottom here. So that's all we're going to do now. Now what I'm going to do is tuck the two ends in. So tuck your two ends in, and this side here, I'm going to push that to the bottom like that. So I've pushed this side here right to the bottom, going to keep it flat at the bottom and push it up, and then bring this up to glue on. Okay, then I'm going to open the box up, and you'll see that that went along, tucked into the score line. Just gonna really burnish that there to get it. Okay, now I'm going to release one of the sides. It doesn't matter, whichever your preference is to do. Just one of your sides, pull that out. Whoops. Oops, again, behave yourself. Set, get your release tape off. I'm going to keep it down so that it's not sticking to my box. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to glue down the sides. Okay. And just squeeze my glue bottle down there and bring this up. Okay, now I'm going to try and get that tucked down. Just let me rub my hands together to get rid of the glue. So I'm going to tuck it down, and I'm just very gently, I'm going to see, this is the tricky part, I'm going to push that just roughly. I haven't adhered it down, I'm just holding it in place, and I'm just going to go lightly in with my bone folder, and when I'm happy that I've got that those score lines together at the side and at the back, I'm then going to stick it down. Okay, so you'll see then we've got that nice right angle going off. That's all tucked in. Just make sure it's really stuck down. Okay, so now this is very difficult for me to show you because I'm going to again take the release tape off this side from both of them and put glue down them. So I'm going to bring that, tucking it in. So I'm tucking it in while I'm fetching the release paper off. A bit hard to show you this. Come on. So, and then I'm going to get in with that glue. And it's very difficult, this part, to get that in, get that on, the glue on there. Okay, so again, what we need to do is just get that going in first, just lightly put it down. So I'm letting it go into position really itself, and then I'm just gonna go in with my bone folder and there. Okay, so the pocket is like that now. Right, so that's the large pocket. And then we've got a medium and a small pocket. So the medium pocket, where's my instructions? Where have they disappeared to? There they go. So my medium pocket is 5 3/4 by 4 1/2. So at your 5 3/4, you're going to score it half at 1, rotate it to your 4 1/2 and score only at half, rotate it again and score at half and 1. Okay, and just as we did before, we're going to cut those two little boxes off. So we're going to cut down the score line and cut down that score line so that you've got that, and then repeat at the other side. So we're going to do that and that. Now I'm not going to put any DSP on at the moment. I'm going to do that at the very end. So we're going to go back in to put in this. So we want along the bottom of your, on the score line, get that off, on, let me turn it around this way, the bottom of your score line there, and cut that, and then this one here, bottom of your score line. Okay, and then do that the same on the other side. So underneath the score line, and this one. Now because this is tighter than the 5 by 7, I can't remember when filming it which way round I do it, but I've been making so many, and what I have been doing is I've been putting these together so that you put it in like the large, but it just became too difficult to do. So I'm going to put them in individually now and seeing if that makes it better. Okay. Okay, so again, I'm going to take off the bottom of the paper and then going to get my glue and just glue that bottom. Now, because I've not got the two together, I'm taking risks. I'm going to bend those in. I'm going to put this at this far side right up against this bottom and secure it in like that. Okay, and then I'm going to bring it back out and just burnish that down. Okay, now I'm going to do the same with the smaller pocket. So the smaller pocket measures 4.5 by 4 3/4. So the 4 3/4 is the side that you're going to start your 1/2 and 1. Then rotate it so that it's on the 4.5 side and just your 1/2 inch. Rotate it again and your 1/2 inch and your 1 inch. Okay, and exactly like I did before, I'm just going to take these two bottom ones out. So taking those two bottom ones out. Okay, and then we're just going to burnish these. Oh, before I burnish them, I'll stick the tape on like I did before. It's just so much easier when it's flat. So getting it right up against that score line. And cutting that off. Okay, and there we go. And now we do it at the right hand side where we put two pieces of tape on as we did, but not on the left hand side. So the left hand side one, we only want to put it on the bottom. So only put that on the bottom. There we go. Like that. Okay. And again, we're going to peel that bottom off. Oh, I've not burnished them. Sorry. Oh, yeah, that's right. I just thought I'd done it wrong then. That's it. So that's it. And bring those in. That's it. And that one's done there. Okay, so I'm going to do the bottom one again. And I'm going to put some glue on that bottom. And then I'm going to tuck those in, bring this back in, and I'm going to fold that out of the way, and I'm just going to push that down. So I'm going to push that down there and bring that up there. Okay. Now I'm going to attempt to do the sides first. I'm going to do this smaller side first. So I'm going to take this. That's it. And let's get that off. There we go. And then we're going to just get the glue down the side. And the glue down that side. And then I'm going to be able to bring this in so that it's level with the side, and I'm just going to go for that tuck in. And then I've not put the inner bit down. I'm going to hold up underneath and then come in with my bone folder so it adheres down there. Okay, so that's giving me a nicer finish. Right, now wondering, I think I'm going to have to do this centre bit, so I'm going to bring that back and I'm going to put glue on this bottom bit only where I've put the tape. I'm going to bend this round and look for putting this one down, so holding them together, and I'm just going to look inside. That has not gone square, so I'm not going to put it down yet. So I'm going to hold it in position and I'm going to come in with this one now. And this time I'll put the glue down both sides. That's my pokey tool. Okay, so I'm going to get the glue down either one of those, and then I'm going to go for these two being together, so I'm going to push those two together, and then I'm going to look at the top and I'm going to make sure that these fit more squarely. So there we go. So I'm holding that in a squarer position. Then I'm going to go just in with my bone folder, stick on that side, stick on that side. So that's as there. And now I'm coming to the final tricky bit. This side again. I'm just going to peel off that release. Now if you're confident that your tape will hold, then just do it with the tape. It would be easier if I hadn't got to put the glue in, but as I say, I put the glue in because I know my glue will hold it. So now I'm going to bend the last part up and I'm going to come in making sure that these two are level, and I'm going to press that together. Then I'm going to go in and use my bone folder to press that in and then press it down on the bottom like that. Now that, having done it both ways now, that worked out easier doing it that way. So that's good. Okay, so these now need to be brought in the other way. And okay, and I'm just going to bring in now the DSP that I've got left. When you cut the strips off, that 6 and the 3/8 just a little bit, that's just big enough to go in the middle, and when they're down you won't know that they don't go all the way to the edge. So I need to cut that, so that is, have I wrote this one down? No, I haven't. Okay, so it's 4 inches, isn't it? So I'm going to do with what strip I've got left. So this is the strip when I'd cut my 6 and my 3/8, just that little fraction away. This is what I got left from the 12 by 12. Just going to put that in and do 3 and 7/8. So I'm just cutting a piece that's 3 and 7/8. And then I'm just going to pop that evenly onto this bit so it covers. Now let me just have a look. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, so I'll just put that there. Okay, so just going to make sure that it's got equal increments. So that's it. That's it. There we go. And then we're just going to put all glue all the way down here now. And then bring this in. And we just need to hold that. Oh. That's it. Now it does take a bit of holding because it's wet glue and I haven't stuck any of my tape to adhere it down. Now with the actually wedging, just that fraction, that just makes it a better edge down there. So I need to keep going in and going back over that, but we'll glue the other one down ready. And then I can do them both at the same time. So again, I'm going down the edge with this and I'm bringing it in, and I'm going to take my bone folder in again. Sorry for the wobbling of the camera. So do there. And it keeps coming up because it's not adhered yet. And then this will fit over the top, and that will tuck in nicely there. And your ribbon just holds it that little bit. However, we need some little pieces at the sides. So I think they're 3/8 we want. So I'm just going to cut some 3/8 strips. So 1 3/8 strips. And then just double check. Yeah, 3/8, and want another 3/8. Yeah, so I've got those, and then I think it's the same again. It's that. So lift it up. So of course it's your 3/8. So we put it at your 3/8 and just take it back that tiny amount, and then we'll just cut that off and do the same again. Well, actually what I did, I lined these two up. That's what I did. And we can just cut them the same. There we go. So that will be cut the same. There we go. So move the trim out of the way. And then let's see if it will match or not match. Not matching that way. It matches a bit that way. And that way, yeah. So just bring this in now. This, do that, and then bring that in, give it an equal increment either side. Okay, and then the other one. There, can't see for looking. There we go, just, whoops, take that down. Was that the right way? Nope, that's the right. No, it's not. That must have been. That don't fall on at that. I'll go for that side like that. so that one didn't follow on. Okay, keep going back in and just, now it's starting to get some tack going off there. It should be all right. Okay, right, now what colour ribbon do we want? Now I haven't got a red and I haven't got this Flirty Flamingo, so I didn't know whether I wanted to go for gold. Have a look. I think I'll go for the gold. So I think I've got, let's have a look at this Russian Bride against it. I'm not sure about that. Look, we could do that one. Don't think I like that. That does seem to be lighter, but I was thinking this is grey. Don't want the silver. I don't think I'll have that one. Won't go for that one. I'll go for my gold. Okay. So I'm going to tie it on the back side of my box. Don't ask me why, but I seem to have got in a mess earlier with tying ribbons, and I've been tying them all the time, and then suddenly I couldn't tie it for Tuffy. Yeah, I think gold, Hannah. If it let me tie it. Come on. Too loose. Too loose, too loose. Oh, what's that there? Oh, don't pick up any glue. Where did that come from? Try it again. And I can't blame doing it on camera that's the issue, because I just couldn't do it off camera either. Don't know what's the matter with me. I've been tying them all the time without any issues, and then all of a sudden I seem to have got where I couldn't tie my bow. I think that might be okay. Just got to mess about with the bow now. Doesn't want to play ball. I think that's near enough. I don't know what I've done at myself. I broke myself. I can't tie bow. Anyway, you get the idea that, in fact, I might go for it on an angle like that. So I'm going to cut it off now. Now, what I normally do, and I'm not going to do this obviously on camera, but what I normally do is I singe the end of the ribbon so that it won't fray. Because what you want the person to be able to do is take the ribbon off, to go into it, put it back on, and then be able to put the ribbon back on. So you want it to be able to come on and off, which I have been able to do. So that is what you get. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for dropping by. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and press the notification button so that you won't miss any of my future uploads. Thank you very much. Stay safe, stay well. Bye for now.